The endgame Nova Sorceress is widely considered the absolute queen of area of effect farming, but a lot of players stay away from it because they think it's locked behind a mountain of unattainable wealth. Today, we are shattering that myth. We are breaking down an aggressive endgame setup that allows you to teleport straight into the deadliest monster packs and erase entire screens in a heartbeat. This isn't a theoretical build that takes a year to construct. This is a high voltage that can be completely built and traded for in under a single month. If you've been looking for a hyper efficient farmer that skips the impossible grind but still delivers top tier clear speed and rock solid survivability in the hardest terror zones, this is the blueprint you need. Welcome back to Onshift Gaming. If you're new to the channel, we're all about maximizing efficiency, breaking down high performance builds, and helping you get the most out of your endgame progression. To understand exactly how this build manages to erase entire screens while face tanking the deadliest packs, we need to take a look at the foundation of our damage and defense. Let's start with the skill tree progression. From level 1 to level 12, we are setting up our future utility, defenses, and clear speed. Instead of hoarding our points, we want to maximize our early game comfort right away. Between levels 1 and 6, make sure to grab your passive utilities first, putting 1 point into warmth for early mana regeneration, and 1 point into frozen armor to give yourself a solid defensive safety net. As you keep pushing toward level 12, put 4 points into static field to drastically expand your area of effect radius for chunking down rooms, and throw 2 hard points into telekinesis. This gets your mandatory defensive prerequisites out of the way early, meaning your entire utility kit is established before your primary combat skills even unlocks. The exact moment you hit level 12, the game changes. You unlock Nova, and it becomes your absolute priority. From level 12 all the way up to level 30, your goal is to pump that damage as hard as possible, pushing Nova all the way to level 19. While you are maxing out the defensive power, don't forget to place one single point into every other skill across the lightning tree. This ensures you unlock your mandatory mobility with teleport, establish your baseline energy shield, and clear out all of your prerequisites. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Nova is an incredibly powerful area of effect skill, but it is notoriously mana hungry. Early on, its mana cost escalates quickly with every single point you invest, and your base mana pool simply won't be able to keep up. Because you are building this configuration from scratch and won't have your hireling equipped with Insight Runeward weapon yet, you have to be prepared to fight the mana battle minigame. During this phase, your inventory shouldn't be full of charms. It needs to be packed with mana potions. Your belt should be entirely dedicated to the blue juice, and you will be chugging them constantly. During this time, you need to actively hunt for necessary items to craft that Insight Runeward. Look for 4 socket pole arm and the Ral, Tyr, Tal, and Sol runes. Or go out and trade for one as soon as possible to get your Mercenary equipped and solve your mana problems permanently. Once you cross the level 30 threshold and get your hireling equipped with Insight, your focus shifts towards maximizing your endgame scaling. Here is the exact order you need to max out your skills to balance extreme damage with your survival mechanics. Your absolute first priority is to finish maxing out Nova to its absolute limit to secure your baseline clear speed. Immediately after Nova is capped, throw every single point into Lightning Mastery to scale your flat lightning damage into the stratosphere. Once your core damage is established, you need to step back and invest a little into your survival, so you don't drop instantly when mobbed. Bring your energy shield up to level 5 and then push your telekinesis up to level 10. This gives you an immediate defensive cushion and improves your mana to damage conversion ratio right as you start hitting harder content. With your survival buffer in place, it's time to finalize the build. Next, go ahead and max out static field to give yourself a massive screen-wide radius for chunking down high health monster packs. After that, put your hard points into maxing telekinesis to secure that highly efficient 0.75 to 1 damage conversion ratio. Finally, dump all remaining points into maxing out energy shield to push your absorption percentage as close to that endgame sweet spot as possible. Once that is done, you'll find yourself with exactly 3 remaining skill points. Throw those final skill points straight into Thunderstorm. Since you are already teleporting directly into the face of enemy packs, this gives you a completely passive automatic lightning strike that picks off any low health strugglers while you're moving to the next target. Plus, it just looks awesome. Now, let's talk about where to allocate your stat points. We are setting this up to ensure you have the exact attributes required to carry your endgame gear while maintaining a massive survival pool. First, we are hitting exactly 156 strength. This is a non-negotiable benchmark because it is the exact strength requirement needed to equip a Monarch shield, allowing you to lock in your Spirit Woundward for those massive cast rates, skills, and mana boosts. Next, we are investing 120 points into Vitality. A lot of pure energy shield guides will tell you to leave Vitality at base, but that leaves you entirely vulnerable to heavy poison damage and sudden mana burn packs that bypass your shield. Putting 120 points here gives your red pool a massive safety cushion when backed up by battle orders, ensuring you have plenty of time to react if your mana ever gets instantly emptied. Keep in mind though, even when you eventually respect your stats, for your endgame gear, do not drop this down to base. Make sure to keep those 120 hard points right here in Vitality to maintain that permanent safety net. Finally, every single remaining stat point goes straight into energy. Because your energy shield is going to be absorbing the overwhelming majority of incoming damage, your mana pool is your actual life bar. Pumping energy doesn't just increase your defensive cushion, it heavily scales your passive mana regeneration, making you an absolute tank in the middle of dense packs. Keep in mind that aside from Vitality, this is just your initial baseline stat distribution to get the build off the ground. Once you have successfully collected your best in slot gears, high-end charms, and your Torch and Annihilus, we will visit Akara for a full respect. At that stage, we'll strip away any excess points and min-max your stats precisely around your final gear bonuses. Speaking of best in slot gears, let's check out the loadout. For the weapon, we are running the Crescent Moon Crystal Sword. The main selling point here is the massive minus 35% to enemy lightning resistance. When you are slicing through high resistance monster packs in Hell difficulty, that reduction of enemy lightning resistance is going to melt enemies faster than raw plus skills ever could. To complement that, your shield is the classic Spirit Monarch. This thing is just a stat monster for this build, giving you a plus 2 to all skills, crucial faster cast rate, a huge bump to your vitality and mana pools, and a solid chunk of resistances to anchor your survivability. Moving over to your weapon swap, we are running Call to Arms. Now, I built mine in a dimensional blade base, but a crystal sword is technically the standard choice. This was the first base I found, so I just rolled with it. Some of you might prefer a flail, but honestly, I like the sword base because it simply just looks better. The absolute priority on this weapon is the battle orders roll. If you can manage to hit a level 6 battle orders like mine did, you have scored the perfect roll to maximize your life and mana pulse. For the swap shield, you can use any shield with plus 1 or 2 to your skills. But make sure it is not a Monarch. You want a shield that looks completely different from your main hand setup. This gives you an instant visual cue so you always know exactly which weapon set you are currently holding, preventing you from accidentally teleporting into a fight with your buff gear out. For your head armor, the absolute king of this slot is Griffon's Eye. This diadem is a massive power spike for a Nova Sorceress because it gives you plus skills, crucial faster cast rate, and reduces enemy lightning resistance right on the base item. To push its damage to the absolute max, you want to punch a socket into it and drop in a Guardian's Thunder Jewel. This will give you the perfect extra chunk of lightning stats to turn your helm slot into a pure offensive powerhouse. Next up is your body armor, and for this slot, we are running the skin of the Viper Magi. This armor is an absolute staple for a caster build because it delivers a plus 1 to all skills, a massive boost to your faster cast rate, and a solid chunk of all resistances to shore up your defenses. To maximize the damage output, you want to socket this piece as well, and drop in a lightning rainbow facet for that critical extra layer of damage scaling and resistance pierce. For the belt slot, there is only one real option here, and that is the Arachnid Mesh. This is the ultimate caster belt in the game, giving you plus 1 to all skills and a vital 20% boost to your faster cast rate. When you are trying to hit those higher casting breakpoints for Nova, having this much utility on a single belt slot is simply irreplaceable. For your gloves, we are locking in Mage Fist Light Gauntlets. Even though the plus 1 to fire skills doesn't do anything for our lightning damage, These gloves are mandatory for two major reasons. They give you a crucial 20% faster cast rate boost to help hit your breakpoints, and it heavily increases your mana regeneration. For a mana-hungry energy shield Nova Sorceress build, that extra regen speed is pure gold. For the boot slot, the definitive choice for this build is Sandstorm Trek. For an energy shield build, poison damage is your absolute kryptonite because it completely bypasses your mana shield and drains your red life bar directly. Sandstorm Trek gives you a massive chunk of poison resistance to cover that exact weakness, alongside a crucial 20% faster hit recovery and a solid boost to your strength and vitality. These boots patch up your defenses perfectly where you need it most. Moving on to the amulet slot, we are locking in Mara's Kaleidoscope. This is the premier choice for the build, offering an unmatched bundle of core stats. It delivers +2 to all skills to crank up your Nova damage and energy shield effectiveness. It also gives up to 30 to all resistances to solidify your elemental defenses, and a clean +5 to all attributes to save your precious points during your stat distribution. To wrap up your accessories, the choice for both ring slots is simple: dual Stone of Jordans. For a Nova Sorceress, these are an absolute dream. Each ring gives you +1 to all skills to directly boost your damage and a massive 25% increase to maximum mana. Running 2 of these drastically inflates your mana pool, giving you an enormous reservoir of fuel to power both your relentless casting and your energy shield survivability. For the inventory, aside from the standard Hellfire Torch and Annihilus, a Lightning Thunder Charm is absolutely non-negotiable. This build relies entirely on lightning damage, and this charm breaks monster immunities so your gear can actually melt through them. I'm currently running a basic Rock of the Heavens, which gets the job done perfectly. However, if you can secure a renewed version of it, that's even better, as those extra positive modifiers will optimize your setup even further. Before we proceed in showcasing how to play this build, let's talk about the Mercenary. For the Nova Sorceress, we are going with the Act 2 Prayer Mercenary. This specific aura choice creates an incredible defensive synergy with his gear setup. For the equipments, he is running an insight weapon, the Cure Runeward Helm, and the Treachery Body Armor. This combination is an absolute game changer. Both Insight and Cure generate their own passive auras, meditation, and cleansing. Because of how the game mechanics work, the Mercenary's native prayer aura actively synergizes with both of them, giving you a massive triple stacking health and mana regeneration engine. Furthermore, the cleansing aura from Cure drastically reduces the duration of curses and poison, effectively neutralizing your biggest elemental weakness, while Treachery provides vital attack speed and Fate proc to keep him alive. Now that you have the gear locked in and your Mercenary ready to back you up, let's talk about how to actually pilot this build to its absolute maximum potential. It all starts before you even see a single monster with a mandatory pre-buff routine. First, swap to your secondary set featuring Call to Arms. Cast Battle Command to bump up your skill levels, followed by Battle Orders to massively boost your life and mana pools. Next, cast Frozen Armor for that extra layer of defense, activate your energy shield, and finally turn on the Thunderstorm for some extra passive lightning strikes. Once everything is active, switch back to your main weapon set and you are ready to hunt. When it comes to actual combat, the playstyle is simple, fast, and incredibly aggressive. For regular packs, your main loop is straightforward. Teleport directly into the middle of a mob and spam Nova to instantly clear the screen. For bosses, tougher elites, or enemies just outside of your immediate range, you want to lead with Static Field. This will instantly slash their health pool in half, letting you comfortably close the distance and finish them off with Nova once they are in reach. That is pretty much it. Teleport, static, and melt everything in sight. And that is how you put together the ultimate unstoppable energy shield Nova Sorceress. It is fast, furious, and absolutely melts through hell difficulty with zero issues. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to smash that like button. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about gear or setup, and subscribe to the channel for more high-tier ERPG guides. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.